Hi, I'm going to talk about 5 subtle ways that a manipulator make you doubt yourself. This is just my personal experience, and I'm not a licensed professional, but if you've been in a relationship with a person that is most likely manipulating you, you get that sense that they are. And since, the love bombing and breadcrumbing and all those terms are part of your everyday with that person, you question yourself. Or am I crazy? Am I overthinking? And then if you are like me, searching online for different opinions of what to look for, what's going on, then this is something you might want to watch, because many times I doubted myself and I was looking for an answer. And I did, thankfully, with licensed professionals. But then it also really helps to get the opinion of somebody that's been through it. And I know this lady called Michelle. She's got a channel called, I'm not sure if it's still there, but Thriving, from surviving to thriving. She's the one that inspired me to do my own research and digging around, because when you're dealing with a so-called narcissist, and by manipulators I mean more of the narcissist type of person, we cannot diagnose these people. These people are professional manipulators. In other words, professionals at using people through emotion. I got a lot of signs and I ignored them from the beginning all the way throughout the whole relationship. These were things that stood out and that I should have known better, but sometimes it's a hard knock life, the one that makes you grow. And actually, we'll get into that another time, but the first one is they cuddle in private with you, but in public, they're distant. Every now and then, we're human. We make decisions and mistakes all the time. But when it's ongoing and it's many of these things all at once, then they're manipulating you. But in my case, he was always very close to me in private, and it's called what? Love bombing? Very much like so loving and always hugging and showing me affection in the house. But when we went out in public, that wasn't there. It was gone. Like, I didn't get no more holding hands, or if we did, I could sense that he felt awkward about it. Another thing is that he walked in front of me, like felt embarrassed of being with me. So yeah, there's one. I'm disgusted just talking about this, but it is what it is. It's the truth, and somebody's gotta learn this the hard way. Let it not be you. The second one is they say I love you every day, like putting a band-aid on no wound. So basically every day he would tell me how much he loved me in the mornings before he went to work, then when he got back from work, then before bedtime. It was just always very routinely, very automatic at specific times. And it got to a point where it felt like very empty, like it was automatic I love you. It had no feelings to it. And that one's very hard to catch unless it's done in clusters with other manipulations, because of course you're not gonna doubt anybody or be suspicious of somebody that tells you that they love you. Like, you're not gonna suspect, oh, they're using you, they're manipulating you. But here comes the next one. They identify as, and this is just a random example, if you're into politics, they identify as right wing, but act like they're left wing. So they're contradicting themselves. So if they're like very right wing but then liberal, you know, that's fake news. Either you are or you're not. Another subtle way is they talk with you about the person you both don't like, but when everyone is around, they are friends with that same person. So yes, he knew that I did not get along with a certain person, but he was friends with that person and acted like nothing was wrong. You know, when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to have each other's back. And if I'm telling you some things that are supposed to be between me and you, it's not that, and then he goes out and says it, you know, that's one thing. But when he goes out and doesn't say it, but he does it, he acts upon it, basically, that's a slap in the face without it being a slap in the face. Certain things about the person make me not want to trust them. And I tell you this, and you agree, and we're talking about it. How do you go when we're not together and hang out and be friends with the one person that you know, and you were talking to me about them that you disagree and don't like either, the things they were doing or this or that? So very hypocrite, fake, and a backstabbing thing to do, in my opinion. But then you go pretend that nothing is happening, nothing is wrong, and just hang out and just be cool with that person. You don't treat somebody like that. That is disrespectful. Ever again will I trust a person like that. Another manipulative thing they can do is they agree to go to couples therapy with you, but you can still sense something is not right, and you feel like they're getting better at it, at the game they're playing with you, and you start doubting the red flags. That's a big one. Would be very cautious on who I go to couples therapy with. If I wanted to save a marriage I've been with for many years, and that's why I went to couples therapy, was to save that long-term relationship that I've invested so many years in, to see how could it help. It's one thing that I would have gone to couples therapy with this long-term relationship that I want to save and that I love so much this person. But another thing is when I ignore the red flags, basically say the 4 examples that I stated above. Yeah, I ignored all that, all the clusters. And then I also choose to go to couples therapy to try and save the relationship, knowing that all these clusters and all these things were happening. And on top, I want to try and save the relationship by going to couples therapy. But we keep going back and forth to the therapy, and it feels like he is working at it really hard. Everything's changing for the better. But then when something else happens and it keeps repeating over and over, it's like you going in a hamster wheel and you think like you're going somewhere, but you're not. That's how it feels. That's how it felt for me. Like the couples therapy eventually was a waste of time. I just gave him free knowledge, or the therapist gave him free knowledge on how to act and react if you're in a certain situation with a certain type of person, so that you can go and manipulate the next person. Because thankfully I broke up with him and he can't do it to me no more. But he got a bunch of knowledge out of the whole couples therapy experience. That's a narcissist right there. They will gather information about you to use it against you. They will not regard your feelings, and the manipulation is just a part of who they are, and they'll use it to specific people. because they're full of, surrounded by people, all kinds of relationships, friends, family, all kinds of relationships. But he may only be a narcissist with you and that other person, or just you. And a narcissist is not going to be a narcissist with everybody that they know. That's why they're liked by so many people, because nobody can tell. I mean, they're really cool. Nobody can tell the kind of person they are, because he's not showing himself, that narcissist self, to everybody. It's just with the one person he's narcissist with. I could really go deep into how scumbag these people are. Tell me, what do you think about all this I just said? Is there anything you want to add or comment or ask? Feel free to do so. God bless you. Have a great day and see you in the next video. Bye.